Welcome to Nursing Research Lecture. Today we are going to discuss another interesting topic, projective techniques. So this is one of the tool which we are using in collecting data. Let us see what is this projective techniques. So basically this is a technique which is used in variety of research, both in quantitative research and in qualitative research. This type of techniques are similar to that of games and tasks, which is given to the respondents to collect some of the things like what idea they have, what kind of thoughts, feelings they are having. To take this information, we are giving this type of techniques. So basically, this is given in the psychotherapeutic setting. In psychiatric research, we are doing this type of a method to collect data regarding the subject's inner feelings, and this is very loosely based method which does not have any standardized approaches, which is having very different loosely structured approaches, and these techniques does not seems to be easy for doing data collection because it needs lot of skills and talent, knowledge from the administrator side. So these are based on the idea that someone will project his or her own beliefs or feelings onto an imaginary situation or person. So when we create an imaginary situation, like when we project something towards the research subject, they come out by expressing their beliefs, feelings, values, which they cannot tell directly. So this is the introduction about projective technique. Also, this technique enables the respondents to mention more about their inner attitudes, which they cannot tell spontaneously, and which is very difficult for the researcher to access the meanings of the thought and feelings, which is not readily available in most of the clients. So by creating an imaginary environment, we are going to understand what kind of thoughts they are having, what kind of feelings they have at present time, which they cannot tell during the normal time. In this situation, they will tell it anyhow. Now, the definition, two definitions are there. According to me, the second definition is very easy and very meaningful. According to APA Dictionary of Psychology, projective techniques can be defined as a series of relatively ambiguous stimuli. So, one stimuli will have many meanings. That's why it's ambiguous stimuli designed to elicit unique, sometimes highly idiosyncratic response that reflect the personality, cognitive style, and other psychological characteristics of the respondents. So, respondents are the research subjects. So, this is a test which we administer with the help of ambiguous stimuli, and through this, we are getting the unique information, that is, the information which is specific to the respondent. Sometimes this information may be highly idiosyncratic, which does not have any factual meaning, but these responses tells about the subject's personality, their cognitive style, like their attitude, their judgment, their style of perception, and also other psychological characteristics which they don't tell in normal times. These projective techniques will bring out when we administer it. The other definition says, so it is a method for measuring psychological attributes like values, attitudes, and personality by providing the respondents with unstructured stimuli to which they respond. So these stimuli is not a structured, these are unstructured stimuli which will not be similar, which will be differ. Okay, now let's see the types of projective techniques. According to Lindsay, there are five types of projective techniques. First one is association techniques. Example is word association technique. Second one is completion technique. Third, construction technique. Fourth, expressive technique. Fifth, ordering choice. Sixth, miscellaneous type. Now let's see one by one in detail. First one is association technique. That is word association technique. In this technique, subjects need to respond at the presentation of stimuli. So in this, one word will be given as a stimuli to the subject. For these word, which the examiner or the investigator gives, the respondents should tell another word which is coming in his or her mind. So with the word what the respondent is saying, the researcher will extract the information from the respondent what he thinks. For example, in some tests when the interviewer says cold, the respondent may say hot. So we can understand from this there is some opposite kind of thinking, feeling is present in the research subject. Mostly this kind of technique is commonly used in marketing research to find the quality that is mostly associated with a brand of a product. For example, we say one product name Nokia mobile, then the respondents say like less cost, more effective. So we can understand that compared to all other brand, that phone is having high quality product features with less cost. So like this association technique is used to find the customers' feelings towards a product in marketing research. Now, second one is completion technique. So here in completion projective techniques, the subject is given a stimulus and the subject is asked to complete the incomplete stimulus. The stimulus which is given is incomplete. The subject must complete that stimulus as he wishes or she wish. There are two types of tests commonly used. One is sentence completion test. Here, one sentence will be given which is incomplete and the research subject has to fill that sentence. So the answer given by the research subject will reveal his attitude towards that topic. So this technique permits the testing not only of words but the ideas as well. In word association test, just they are giving only the word, but here the sentence is filled. So through this we can know about the ideas what they think about that particular phenomena. Okay. Now, in addition, this technique is also very quick and very easy to use. For example, subjects when responds with the words such as mad, nervous, sick, tired, these things reflects the negative affects. It is the negative emotions which the subject have. And those answers given by the subjects like good, happy represents the positive mood of the research subjects. So this is about sentence completion test. Next one is the story completion test. Incomplete stories will be given to the respondent by the informant, uh, and we are asking the respondent to complete the story as they wish. Any story will be given, and that story does not have conclusion. The conclusion has to be made by the respondent. So through that we can understand their thoughts, opinions, feelings, their judgment, everything. So this is completion technique. Number two, story completion test. Now move on to the third one is construction technique. This technique produce something which make the respondents to produce or do something new as per the direction, like we give some picture and we ask them to tell what is happening in that picture. So that is the commonly the thematic apperception test. Thematic apperception test. In this test, various pictures will be shown related to normal everyday event. The respondents are asked to describe what they think about the picture. For example, in this picture, two people share the hands each other. The respondent may say they both are friends, or they can say they are going to fight. So, with the answer what they tell, we can understand what the attitude, what kind of thinking which is dominating in the subject's mind. So, if they say they are friends, so we can say the respondent may have good social interpersonal relationship related concepts. So by seeing this, when they say they are going to fight, so we can understand that they have negative thoughts related to the interpersonal relationship. So this is first one is thematic appropriation test. The next one is Rosensweig test. Rosensweig test. So here it is the images given in a cartoon format. So whereas here there will be a series of empty boxes. This is balloon, empty balloons. So the respondents is asked to fill the dialogue which is related to the communication between the two people. For example, in the first picture, the first person says that I have always been able to eat all I want without turning into a big fat pig. So the another respondent in this picture, what he will say, what reply he will give, that we will ask to the respondent and we will ask them to fill that in the box, in that balloon. Now the evaluator will read the uh, comment which is given by the respondent, and according to that the interpretation, the psychological interpretation is made by the evaluator. So the opinion we will get by understanding the comment what the respondent is giving. So this is the Rosensweig test. Now the next type of test you all know very well, Rosach Inkblot Test. Rosach Inkblot Test consists of 10 cards having a prints of ink blots. These are the ink blots. This design is symmetrical. So equal type of design is present in the right hand side and left hand side in the image. But this is does not having any meaning. Respondents are asked to describe what they perceive in them. Respondents are asked them to see the picture and ask them to describe what they perceive from that image. Some may think there is two elephants fighting by seeing this picture. Some may think two elephants are welcoming by joining the hands. They are giving the welcome. So like that, here some can say like two peoples are like two girls are standing and they are trying to take lift some object. So this is my perception. The perception can differ from one person to other person. So this is Rosach ink blot test having 10 cards. The next one is Holzman Inkblot Test. Holzman Inkblot Test is a modification of Rosach test and it consists of 45 cards, which is based on color, movement, shading, and other factors. One response per card is interpreted at three levels of appropriateness. So here the method of administration is different and the method of interpretation is different. Inkblot test given by Rosach have only 10 cards, but Holzman Inkblot test is a modified version of Rosach Inkblot test having 45 cards. Each card will be given and opinion will be taken for each card from the respondent. The next method is there is Tompkins horn picture arrangement test. So in this test, Tompkins horn picture arrangement test, the type of test is designed to group of administration for group administration. It is not given for individual. For group administration with 5 plates, each containing 3 sketches that may be arranged in different ways to portray the sequences which participants consider reasonable. So the various plates which contains different sketches are given, so the participants need to arrange these pictures which can give a good meaning. For example, they have arranged all these pictures like a bird. So this gives meaning. The participants gets the reasonable meaning to gives the reasonable given the reasonable meaning to the picture. So this type of technique is called Tompkins horn picture arrangement test. Now let's see the fourth method, expressive techniques. The respondents are asked to do some role play or act, they are act to or paint in a particular situation or concept. So when they do a role play or when they draw a diagram and paint about some concept which comes in the mind, that is, they are expressing what they think, what they need, what kind of feelings they have. They are expressing through the role play or by drawing a diagram or by doing a painting. So by this, we generally concentrate on the way in which something is constructed by the subject. So what is the element, thought element which is present in the brain of the subject? We are able to get clearly a good picture about it. Okay, now the fifth method is ordering choice. So this type of projective technique most frequently used in quantitative researchers, but generally used informally in the qualitative research. When the subjects explain why specific things are most or least important, or to order, rank, or categorize some factors related to the topics under the research can be understood. For example, we have different types of relationship. So we ask them to arrange the relatives whom you like very much in the order from the highest like person in the first to the least liked person in the last. So in that order we are asking them to arrange. So when they arrange this, we can understand that to whom they can behave very well, to whom to whose word they obey. So this kind of information we can get from this ordering choice. So ordering choice is different type. First one, sorry, ordering choice, not different type, only one type. We ask them to rank the products or rank the events in the order which is most favorable to the least favorable, which they like very much to the which they like very least. So the next one is miscellaneous type. In this, there are four types. First one is drawing a picture. Each participant is given a piece of paper and we are giving a pencil and we ask them to draw a picture. This picture gives the evaluator a good insight on their behavior and attitude. So what kind of thing the respondents draw? So through that, the evaluator can get a meaning. What is the uh, thought which is occupied in their mind for long time. Next one is creating families. Using a family analogy, this technique is used to uncover the relationship between the target category and other category. So this method uses family analogy and we are asking them to uncover the relationship between the target category and other categories. Like we ask them to find the meaning, roles, responsibility of one member in the family with the another members, what they have in their mind that we can get. So next method is using fantasies and daydreams. So here participants are asked to describe a topic related to fantasies and daydreams. By this we can able to understand the characteristic future which is important in their day-to-day life. For example, we ask them to explain about what kind of things they like very much. So when they tell I like to do this thing, this activity very much, so we can understand that. So most of the times their feelings is towards that particular activity or incidents. The last one is clay modeling. In clay modeling, we can give them different clay with various color and we ask them to make a shape. So by seeing the shape, what they make, the evaluator can understand what kind of thought is present in them for long period. So this is about clay modeling. This is about clay modeling. So hope you understood about these projective techniques. Now the advantages and disadvantages of projective technique. First advantage is since the respondent is aloof of the purpose of the study, it elicits a response which are not possible by direct method, which is not possible by direct. So sometimes the respondents will be in group or sometimes the respondents will feel shy to give response. So in this method, the respondents are made them to be in a private place. From there, we can collect the information very easily. The second advantage is data collection method is very rich and because it uses very scientific material, so the informations will be very accurate. The third one is it is very useful for doing exploratory research to identify new insight, to identify a new concept. For that purposes, this method is very useful. Now the disadvantages, the evaluator or the researcher needs to be trained in administering these projective techniques and they must have some skillful, they know how to conduct the interview with the respondent. For that they need to develop the skill and also they need training to interpret the meaning of the uh, response which the respondents give at the time of test. And the second disadvantage is it is very expensive and it is very difficult to administer because materials may be very costly to get and administer and training is needed for the for doing the test to analyze the test results. And the third disadvantage is getting subjects for role play is very difficult. Role play cannot be done with a single participant. We need similar type of participants who have same criteria, who have same problem. That is very difficult. The last disadvantage is reliability measures are very difficult to work out. We cannot say these results which we obtain from this method will be more reliable. So reliability of the test is questionable here. So this is about projective techniques. We have seen 6 types of projective techniques. Hope in the exam, if this projective techniques is asked, you all can able to write very easily. Thanks for watching this video. In the next video, I will teach you about Q sorts and vignettes. With that, the data collection unit, the methods will be completed. So tomorrow class will be about Q sorts and vignettes. Take care. Bye bye.